Have you ever wanted to play a more advanced version of Battleship, except with 8 people all shouting at the same time? Well, we got the game for you.
If you've ever said that before, you're a very special and lucky person. Because they did make that game from out of Asmodee and Matagot. We got Captain Sonar. Big ol', like you said, Battleship team-based game. Each person is on a submarine, 2 competing teams. And you have a giant wall in between the 2 of you. And every person has their own mat, which is a dry erase mat that you actually have a marker and you're marking things down on and drawing paths.
I will say this: I'm starting. And I don't think it's a full trend yet, but starting to see that dry erase pen and use, and I like it because it really sort of makes it more of a design method. I will say, Jonathan, you were lucky enough to sit down at one of the roles.
I got to play it.
I got to watch you though for most of it, which is very fun from my end.
I was the first mate. You can be the captain, first mate, radio, and engineer. And they all have different things. Captain can control, kind of giving orders, decides which way you move. The radio person is trying to map and figure out where the other team is based on their directions. So if they say north, south, west, you're like, well, they didn't go here because they would have hit an island or whatever.
Right. Well, this is where the cool thing was. The captain has his. They both have the same. Everyone has the same boards, obviously, where the islands are. So the captain's going north, south, east for his own board. So when the radar person hears it, he has that map out, but over he has a piece of plastic. So when he's drawing dots, he'll shift that plastic around until it makes sense.
Yeah, and you'll see that in the video, and that's a really interesting mechanic.
No, because at first I'm like, what? Were they being... Because I didn't know exactly what they did. That was the one part I missed at first, but, I got the gist after watching. I'm like, wow, they're lazy giving them a piece of plastic. But then I'm like, oh my god, that's brilliant.
Yeah, so really cool. My job was to help power up the actual systems, so I would tell the captain, like, oh, the mine is ready, or sonar, or whatever.
Pretty much each turn, you had, I think it's 6 different sort of powers.
Right.
That took a number of turns to charge up. And the captain usually told you, we want to charge up drone first, or this first, and certain things, if you haven't guessed, you said mine. Certain things against hurting, certain things help finding.
Right, so you're trying to find your opponent and kill them. That's basically the end goal. And the demo that we played was turn-based, but the game really is designed as a real-time game. So they say do your first couple of games in that vein, and then jump into real-time, like something like Space Alert or Space Cadets. And that's definitely reminded me a lot of Space Cadets and something else. I can't think of what it was, but that kind of frenetic team-based thing where everybody has a special role.
Well, I would like to touch on one more role, mostly because I imagine this being the most terrifying role to play.
Sure, the only one left, the engineer.
Because of playing it live action, what you have to do is pretty much you're deciding what gets damaged.
Every time you move, depending on which direction you go, you have to X out a certain field, and if you're Xing out the wrong ones, some of the systems won't work, and there are ways to repair the ship, etc. as you go. So there's definitely a lot of calculation. Definitely communication is important between the teams.
Honestly, I feel the engineer playing in real time is going to be like Scotty on the this Enterprise. Oh god, everything's going crazy.
Well, they're the ones that are always going to get blamed because when something doesn't work, they tell everybody. They're the bearers of bad news, pretty much. But it was a super fun demo, very short and definitely not representative of the full game. I really want to try playing an actual full game.
The 2 of you in the demo, because they had to, get through people, which I do think is a fair thing.
Yeah, it was fine. Yeah, it was just 2 rounds.
It was very fun to watch you both, because I could see both boards.
Oh, right.
To watch you guys sort of try to guess where each other are and sort of dance around. And very funny how you guys sort of, very similar tactics, actually, just different starting points. And at the end, you guys actually tried to guess where the other one was, just for the sake of wondering where you were, which is really cute.
So hopefully we'll get a chance to try it soon and give you our further in-depth thoughts. But that's Captain Sonar. Super fun, original game. Check it out.
We got plenty more Gen Con news coming, so you better stay up to date at Roll4Crit at Twitter, as well as Facebook, Instagram, and just subscribing right here.
And, of course, you can find us on our very own website, roll4crit.com/GenCon2016 for all our videos, photos, and more. Stay tuned.